testing.
Hello.
Area 7, welcome to the Creative Creatures podcast.
Thank you very much.
for having us. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Creative Creatures.
We're here at the Southeast Beer Festival, which is happening. I've just had Dallas Crane on, and they said they spoke highly of you guys. Apparently they played with you guys before.
No, we don't like them that much.
Yeah, they were name dropping like crazy.
We love Dallas Crane.
We can name drop too. Didn't the guy get the tattoo the other day?
He got a tattoo of Area 7. Well, Photoshop tattoo, which is always good. I got a Photoshop t-shirt, so it's really good. No, we love Dallas Crane. We've known them for a number of years. Played lots of times. Good guys. Good guys.
And a work experience kid. So.
Yeah, this is Chaz. He's our work experience kid.
Yep.
Yeah, we're bookending him and we're bullying him.
We're bullying him. It's a bit of workplace bullying here with the work experience kids. Can you get me a coffee?
Yeah, I'll get one later.
There you go. This is Chaz, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be famous in the future, and we'll be sucking up to him.
Twice.
Can you play my instrument
He's
for
going to
me
play with us tonight.
Yeah.
So that we're
On
going to
stage.
get him up for a couple of songs. So there you go.
Come.
All right. Let's see if we can fuck this up. Green eggs and ham. You're up the front, buddy.
So Area 7, one of my favourite bands growing up. I think the first show I ever went to, Jay over here he saw you guys first at Frankston. My first show was at Kingston Town Hall, I'm pretty sure, and it was also with Sunk Lotto. So back in the day.
Okay. I kind of vaguely remember that. Sunk Lotto, they're good guys too.
Long stereo ripped out.
And we found this wedged under one of the seats. It's Sunk Lotto. That's exactly what I said.
Sunk Loto, they're an Aussie band. Kind of like 28 days, only idiot.
28 days.
You guys are so out of touch.
Whatever.
There you go. Goes back a bit,
They need to come back, I reckon.
I think they do. Every other band's done a research.
I know.
Why shouldn't they?
I know what's going on with that.
Oh.
All right, so take me all the way back to the start. It's 1994. Is that when it sort of kicked off? And you weren't actually in the band initially.
No, I wasn't. So there was another singer, Walter. He was a much better singer than I am, by the way.
Okay.
But Walter decided to leave the band, and I was singing in another band. DJ actually playing keyboards in that band.
I can back that up. Yes, that's true.
That's
So
true.
DJ, you weren't originally in Area 7.
No, I wasn't. No.
But you were in a band that Area 7 played with on the.
Yes, Stevo
Correct.
and I were in a band together.
All right, so how did that work? You guys support each other, or?
Yeah, when we supported each
I
other.
supported Dave.
I
Dave
supported
supported me.
him through thick and thin. But and likewise,
I'm under thick.
gently nurtured each other. No, we were there, and Area 7 formed, and they did some supports with us, along with other bands, and
Okay.
and then this sort of around the time Stevo was asked to fill in was kind of when was winding up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our band was called Yeah.
Yeah.
Described as the right band at the wrong time by many people in the press, which is fine. And as Yeah was winding down, Area 7 were just sort of starting, and they were on tour, and Walter, the singer, opted out of the band, and I just happened to know some of their songs, and they reached out to me and said, hey, could you help us out and fill in? And I've been filling in for 25 years or something, whatever it is now.
Wow.
100 horses, I'd really be much better off on top of one, sitting here surrounded by traffic.
And still going strong.
And they originally were a cover band of Madness or something like that?
Yeah, they were a Madness cover band called
Madness, not madness?
Madness. They were called Mad, not Madness.
Yeah.
And then they decided that they could write their own music, which they do. And Chuck and Dougal, who were two of the original members of the band, the best, probably great songwriters, and did really, really well. And they put together the set list, if you like. And then, as I said, then I came along, and then we've added some more songs along the way. So it's been really, really good. So, and unfortunately, or fortunately, some of the guys left in the band because they got opportunities overseas. So Chuck's living in Philadelphia at the moment.
Yeah.
He's been over there for 5 or 6 years with his family. He still flies back to play big shows.
Yeah. Okay.
But sort of like he spends a lot of time there. And Dougal was living in London for a long time, but he's moved back to Melbourne now.
How's it been without, especially Chuck in the band, like tougher and...
Yeah, it is. I mean, firstly because he's a great mate. He's one of our friends, and like even today I got a message from him. Hey, break a leg at the show tonight. I hope it all goes really well. So there's that. I talk to him quite a bit, like probably every week or so we have a chat, which is really good. So yeah, it's tough without Chuck being here. But Azza, who's playing guitar with us now from Behind Crimson Eyes and Conniption Fit, he's a great player, a great bloke, a great friend. Yeah. Been friends with us for a long time, so he's slotted in quite nicely as well, which is great. But yeah, we do miss Chuck, I must say.
And one of the things I think that Stevo, your singing style, you guys are ska, but it's got like punk rock kind of vibes, everything, and you sort of seem to me as like, I don't know, it's like an attitude kind of thing. So, but not really what I'd picture as a typical singer. So, how did you realize you were a singer? Were you doing choirs, or how did that come about?
I never refer to myself as a singer. I'm a front man.
That's what you're a front man. You're not a singer.
Yeah,
so, how did that happen?
It actually happened back in the 80s. I was in a band I was roadieing for a band called No Nonsense. Yeah. We were playing at what is now Russell Street. The lead singer, Dickie, was sick on stage. He jumped off stage, threw the microphone at me and goes, "I'm crook." They played 2 instrumentals and they had nothing else. So one of the guys in the band said, "Come and sing a song." So I did. I sung 2 or 3 songs, and then from then on I always sung. It just happened that way. So, and I've been doing that ever since. So it's great. And that would be about 1982, 83. So, yep. I'm old now.
Certainly worked out. And was it always ska in terms of your sort of...
For me, ska, punk. DJ and I, we talk about this quite a bit. We're all got really wide musical tastes. Like, you look at the band, there's everything from metal to reggae to dub to punk, psychobilly, rockabilly. You know, we love Devo. DJ and I are big Devo fans. Yeah. We love that sort of stuff. So for us, Area 7's sort of the meeting ground where we all sort of come together, and so that's good. You know?
And DJ, what about you, ska? Was the original band that you guys played with also ska?
It had some ska to it, but it had R&B, as in the original R&B, swing, rockabilly, a bit of it. It was definitely meant to be influenced. Like, we had a double bass, and we would introduce people to other styles of bands. So yes, Area 7 might support as a ska band, but equally the Runaway Boys that became the Living End did too, and other types of bands, and we were merging influences that showed the sorts of styles that influenced and hence we'd have that. So no, we were never locked into an all ska style.
Well, you can kind of tell. I think it's one of the you guys were my introduction to ska. Because of that, like we've segued quite well into other Australian bands you guys have played with, and the Living End probably being, for me, Prisoner Society. I heard that song and I was like, this is my jam, and ever since I haven't ever turned back. Yeah. And then that kind of led me to you guys, and then ska, and then I was Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake, and never turned back.
And the thing with any musical genre style, as time goes on, it's gonna morph. Yeah. And even when people say it's coming back, it's never going to come back the same. Yeah. So, okay, taking ska for example, there's people that refer to up to the 4th wave of ska now. There's people that say it's not that, that's not that. Everyone finds their own version of it, and then they might broaden from it.
That's true.
And stuff's always changing. So it's kind of a difficult one with categories or titles.
But that was that melting pot, right? So as I've said, described as the right band at the wrong time. We realised, DJ and I realised, back in the 80s we would play a ska show and there would be hundreds of people at that ska show. There would be a rockabilly show, there would be hundreds of people at that rockabilly show. There would be a mod show, there'd be hundreds of people at that show. But as poker machines crept in, as PlayStations were invented and people didn't have to go out anymore, what ended up happening was those crowds shrunk. Right. And then all of a sudden you'd have 100 people at a ska show, 100 people at a rockabilly show, 100 people at a mod show, and you'd go, you know what, this is kind of not really working anymore. So we had this idea, actually DJ had this idea.
Bring them all together.
Let's put them all together on one show and we'll get 400 people all into alternative music. And so that's how that's how our relationship started with the Runaway Boys. Yeah. They were kids, they needed a show, we needed a 3 or 4 piece band to tour with us. We go, we'll take these guys. Well, look, they surprised all of us, didn't they? Well, they didn't surprise us. We knew they were good, and they just grew. There was a lot of other bands along the way. We would play with H Block 101, punk band. We would play with other rockabilly and swing bands, and it just grew that way.
Yeah, and I think also the thing with that too is then those fans not only were turning up to the one show, but for I think for us it was a great thing when someone who liked the way, just the same way you said, I've discovered this. Yeah. Someone is suddenly going, a ska fan's going, I bought my first rockabilly record, and I love it. And they're trying to learn how to dance like that, and vice versa. There's all this
100%.
mix, and to me, that was a really great thing. It's like, I don't know, someone that introduces you to a new kind of food or anything. You're suddenly going, oh wow, it's broadened my horizons.
So you guys are talking about the Runaway Boys. Is that the Living End?
Yeah, that's the Living End. Yeah.
Okay, and so did you guys start playing with them very, very early days or something? What's the story there?
Actually, that guy over there, Brad Clayton, he came up to me at a nightclub on a Sunday night, and he said, hey, I met these guys, they're called the Runaway Boys, and the singer wants to meet you. And I was like, okay, so this 16-year-old pimply-faced kid came up to me with a demo tape in his hand, and that guy was Chris Cheney. And there was something about him I liked at that time, and I listened to him, and he gave me this CD, which was a demo, it was a tape, a demo tape. And I remember calling him during the week and talking to his mum, which Jeanette, who I still speak to this day.
Wow.
And we just happened to need a band to do a residency, an opening slot on a residency, so we got those guys in to do it. And we've just been friends ever since, so much so that I was in Chris's bridal party, he was in my bridal party. That's wild. That's how tight we are. And I was with him last weekend. And you know, it's just nuts. It's just this great relationship that's just built. And I know DJ's had a great relationship with both Chris and Scotty as well over the journey. And the two bands just clicked.
My two favourite bands growing up, the fact that I don't know, that's bizarre sometimes the way things work, isn't it?
It is. It was just like it was meant to be. It was like the first time he spoke to me, I don't know, there was just something about him I liked.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a bit younger than me, and we were sort of like chatting, and I really just liked the way he went about doing his thing and then talking, and then we just ended up being good friends, didn't we? We all just ended up being really tight.
Whoever knows who's going to make it, but I don't know if you saw it, but Brad and I saw the Runaway Boys on a talent quest show on TV.
Right, yeah.
And Brad and I talked about it, going,
same
hey, who are they?
Apart from the drummer.
It's different drummer, but Scott and Chris. And so we kind of went, okay, you know, let's do it. And the crowd would like it and all that sort of thing. And it was just great to share this stuff and to see it however it's going to turn. Whoever knows, you know?
It seems like there is like a camaraderie of these bands, like including, 28 Days and, Bodyjar and Frenzel and stuff like that. Like, are they as tight as they appear to be from the outside?
Yeah, 100%. Like, again, Bodyjar, great friends of ours, have been for years. Even the current members, the ex-members. Cam doesn't live far from my house.
Yeah.
His wife Regan and my wife Phil get on together like a house on fire, so it's not unusual for them to be at our house. So that's really, really cool. Yeah, and Ross and Grant we still keep in contact with. 28 Days, no words need to be spoken. We have mutual love, mutual respect for those guys. We've known those guys for years. Again, both bands have suffered a loss in our drummers with Scott and Dan.
Yeah.
And, we've never forgotten that. And we've been really tight. And, Frenzel's the same. Lindsay played with us at our last show. So,
It'd be fair to say, like, the same thing. All these bands, have had some member changes. But it's, for most people that they're a fan, they go, well, I'd rather see a band keep going than just fold because one person left the band. So it's kind of good. So sometimes you're still knowing or mixing or overlapping with the ex-members or the new members. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It just broadens.
So cool, yeah.
But you're right, it is as tight. And if you go back to sort of Warp Tours, it's always the Aussie bands are always really tight with each other. And people think there's this, I think sometimes people think there's this I don't know, this competitiveness against us. There's nothing better than I love than seeing a band that we know become successful and do whatever they do. And I've said that 100 times about the Living End. I am so wrapped for those guys because they get everything they deserve everything they've got.
And even as they
really
come along, like not just that period of time, like the Bennies were really close with them.
Example as well.
And like I saw some of them last night.
Taking them under your wing in a way, though.
Well, we did in the early days. They don't need us to take them under their wing. They're just doing their own thing. But we knew Antti from when he was in a band called Madonna and Craig. We knew those guys from then. So again, most of the bands, we all know each other. Like even if I think about bands like Magic Dirt and I think about, those sorts of bands, we still have a great relationship with those bands. Well, we caught up with Shehad on the Hotter Than Hell tour we were doing.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen those guys for probably 10 years. And yet it was like we saw them the day before.
Yeah.
It was just like,
And again, that
straight
mix
in.
of bands that when we did the Hotter Than Hell,
Yeah.
the crowds were there.
Yeah.
We're just loving that, we're playing with Spiderbait and all that
Yeah.
sort of thing as well. So
And what about the international bands, like a Real Big Fish type of stuff and Less Than Jack and everything? Like, is it harder with the international acts, or are they more rivalry, or are they?
Look, I think it depends on the band, right? So
Right.
my experience has been mostly positive. So like, let's put out the good guys. Hefcat, Real Big Fish, Tick Tick, Pennywise Tick, Melancholy Tick Tick.
Yeah, Goldfinger.
All great guys.
Elvis,
Goldfinger, depending on who's in the band.
Frank Sinatra,
Yeah, okay.
when we,
Yeah.
we got along well. No.
Yeah. But like,
This is what Dallas Crane was doing.
Like Mike from MXPX plays with Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Great guy,
Yeah.
So I mean, from that perspective, yeah. I mean, sometimes things surprise you too, like suicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
We got on like with those guys like a house on fire. Like, Psycho Myko said to me, I don't even like ska, but I fucking love your band. I'm like, yeah, man, this is a guy I loved when I was a 15-year-old, 16-year-old skater, It's
Yeah.
so that sort of shit blows you away a little bit.
I looked up when I was just yesterday. I looked up some of the shows you'd played, and some of them I just wish that I was maybe old enough to go to. There was a festival called Offshore, maybe, and played in Torquay, and the lineup was insane. It was like Pennywise and like Blink-182, and just like the list went on.
Yeah, I love
The
the way
Royal
on the
Crown
billing.
Review, and they were there. doing
No
that.
FX maybe might have been on there.
Yeah, there is actually. There's a really weird. I won't talk about that. But there was there's a billboard poster of that, and we're billed above Blink-182, and I love that.
Oh, is it still around? I want to see
I've
that.
got it. I'll actually send it to you. You can put it in your podcast.
Yeah, sweet.
Anyway.
I got a bunch of your old CDs around here. I'll see if I can get you signed. Sign afterwards.
Sure.
But I have a experience. So your drummer Dan, Larry's sad that happened. I was at one. I think it might have been the show. I think it was the show I was telling you about. The first show I went to, I was at Kingston Town Hall, and I was speaking to one of the security guards or something. I was like, I want to get, I think he threw out the drumstick, and I caught it. I wouldn't mind getting it signed. So I'll take you in there, and I go down into like the bottom of the stage area.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dan comes out. He's like, oh hey man, like, what can I do for you? And I was like, oh, can I get the drumstick signed? He's like, yeah, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to get a texter. He goes inside, and I was waiting out there for like 10 minutes, and I hear all this cheering, like, yeah, like what the hell is going on in there? Carlton Blues, I think we're on the TV, and he's cheering, like everyone's going crazy in there and stuff. And after a while, I told one of the security guards, I'm like, can you get Dan? Like, I think he's in there, and he's like, oh, he's watching the footy. And he came out, he's like, oh, I completely forgot about you. Carlton's just had a big win, and he's like, oh, I'll sign this thing. So I've still got that drumstick at home.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's great. I'm really good. Dan was a massive sports fan. So whether it was Manchester United, whether it was the Blues, or whether it was Melbourne Victory, he was there. And actually, we've got a new song which we haven't released yet.
Oh, there we go.
But it actually has a line in it about Dan, and it actually says that about how much he loved his sports and how much he loved his teams.
Well,
he was
there
a
you go.
massive Carlton fan. I got two funny stories about Dan. Let me tell you one. So we played at a Scout Jamboree. So just to give you an idea what this is like, right? This is like Robbie Williams stage. So these massive run-out parts that are like 100 metres apart. And we're playing on this stage to about 5,000 to 10,000 scouts. It was the weirdest thing you've ever fucking seen. Anyway, we finished the show. It's a big rock ending. We're out on these arms and the stage, the lights, the TV. It's like playing in a city full of scouts. And Dan throws his drums out to the crowd, his drumsticks out. During the week, I get this friend a call from a mate of mine. He's an insurance assessor. He goes, did you guys play at the Scout Jamboree? And I go, yeah, why? He goes, I've got an insurance claim. And I go, what about? He goes, some kid wasn't watching and a drumstick hit him in the face and knocked out his two front teeth. And I go, oh, are we implicated? He goes, no. So that's one drummer story. My other one is, everybody knows Dan Kirby, who plays with 28 Days, who plays with Bliss and Esso.
Yep.
So Dan was at a show the other week, and he was telling us this story. He goes, I don't know if you remember, Stevo, but we were at a show trying to get in, and you snuck us in the back door. And I go, oh, I don't remember this. And he goes, yeah. He goes, This is Dan Kirby talking.
Yeah.
I put my mum's mascara on my face. He was 14 to make him look like he shaved. And he goes, you saw us outside and felt sorry for us and you snuck us in the back door. Well, I didn't know that little 14-year-old skateboarder then with this mascara on his face would end up being Dan Kirby, who plays with 28 Days and, as I said, Bliss and SO. So it was a funny story. I've forgotten all about it. But
good memories. And so my late brother just a year ago passed away, and you guys were one of his favourite bands. Yeah, so I wish he was here now, but just these types of memories and stuff, and it's like brings everyone together.
Stupid things.
Yeah.
So many stupid things. So many stupid things. But they're funny.
So I want to ask about, we were chatting earlier about the Area 7 t-shirts, the 7-Eleven t-shirts. When I was in high school, some kid had one, and I wanted one so bad. It's instead of 7-Eleven, it's Area 7. You haven't seen it. And I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put it up for you.
And you were telling me about how that came about. You weren't even in the band when you sort of come up with that idea.
So the first time I ever saw that logo being used, so ours says 7-Eleven, it says Area 7, and it has skanking 24 hours. Skanking meaning dancing. But I was actually in England, or it must have been in 1992 or 1993, and I saw a dance party in England, and they had a 7-Eleven logo, and instead of having a 7-Eleven, it said 7 evil men. So it was 7 DJs playing at this Brixton show. Anyway, so it's always been in my mind.
Yeah.
So then, go forward 5-6 years later, joined Area 7, and I thought, well, we need some merch. And that idea comes into my head, and I was like, I'm going to use Area 7 and skanking 24 hours. That's where it come from.
Well, it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And if anyone's looking for legal action, I didn't actually put that artwork together originally.
Yeah. Area 7-Eleven actually saw it and contacted you.
In the very early days, 7-Eleven saw it, and they sent us an email, and I thought for sure it's going to be a cease and desist. And it was like, no, it was quite the contrary. They actually had been writing to us saying they saw it, they loved it, and they asked us what skanking meant, which I wrote back and said, it's dancing. And they were like, that's awesome. They wanted to make sure it wasn't negative. And they were like, it's not on a scale of anything that we're worried about, just go do it. While we didn't get permission, we didn't get told not to do it. So,
and what Area 7 itself, the name, for the record, what does that mean? Where did it come from?
So Area 7 comes from the lyrics of a Special song called Dawning of a New Era. A lot of people
being the sort of main band behind the ska revival, what's called the
two-tone ska era.
For anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah, so they've got a song called Dawning of a New Era. It's a futuristic song about a guy who meets a girl who lives in Area 3. They end up sleeping on the front doorstep because the key don't fit the door, and then they wake up and they're in the wrong area. They're in Area 7. So there's a line in that song which goes, I woke up and thought, this ain't exactly heaven. Oh shit, we're in Area 7. That's where the lyric came from. Dan actually was the guy who put that forward as a name. But more importantly, there's a little bit of a subtlety to Area 7 that people don't get.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they get anyway, is if you look at the original members of Area 7, you had everything from heavy metal influences to reggae, to dub, to rockabilly, to psychobilly, to opera, to all sorts of different influences. And they coined this phrase that the area that they met in was Area 7. So that was the one piece that they all loved ska, they all loved reggae. So they went let's call it the band Area 7. And that was just a great little name. And it's kind of stuck. We like it. So, and it's still to this day, we've had a lot of members move in and out of the band now because guys have moved overseas or whatever. And it's still Area 7. That's still the meeting ground for where we meet musically.
Well, speaking of OG ska bands, you guys do a cover of They Want to See Your Face Again. And I was thinking, I was in the States recently and that song came on. And my other Australian mate started singing the extra words after the chorus or whatever.
Yes.
Is that an Australian... any idea where that has come from and what's going on with that?
Words?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think... Well, do you know? Do you want me to say what
You go.
Well, yeah, there used to be a cover band that did it. Is supposedly the story.
Okay.
That at this cover band, people started doing that. Cover band played regularly, and then it filtered back to Angels shows. That's what I've heard several times, including, I think one of the Angels quoted that.
Right.
One of the band members.
So like a cover band started randomly doing it in their songs.
You do it live? Yes. Oh, we don't do it, but the crowd does it.
I ever gonna see your face again? What about you, Jack?
We did a song live, yes.
Yeah.
So just work from our work experience.
Is the work experience, you got a favourite song with Area 7?
At the moment, Save Yourself. I'll say it to my friend.
Oh, we're not playing that tonight.
Not playing it.
Damn.
Damn, sorry about that.
Right, that'll go in your report. Requesting.
I doubt you'll be playing my favourite song either because it's a bit random, but Kicks.
That's my favourite song.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's moved on and I've lost my way. So you say I'm still getting kicks.
That is such a good song. I found that after, it was just always in my head, and then I'm like, I don't even know the name of that song. I'm like, got to go back, and then ever since, that is still on my playlist to this day, getting regular rotation.
That's my favourite song too.
But
I love it. Dougal wrote that one. That's a ripper. Yeah, we're not playing that tonight either. I might do an acoustic version of it later.
That's just
coming back to the Angels though.
Yeah.
So one thing that Area 7 has always tried to do, when we go to a state, we try to play a song from that state.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a little bit of a tribute thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realise too, one of the, Doc Neeson's son was a bit of a fan of Area 7's.
Right.
So we had this thing about when we go on a tour, we would do a song. So we had that song up our sleeve for Adelaide. And then when we did it, then we got feedback from the family that they really loved it. So much so that we actually were penciled in to do a tour with the Angels.
Right.
And then they had their falling out.
Oh,
and it didn't happen.
right at the
And then
wrong
Doc
time.
Neeson left. Oh, sorry, Doc Neeson died, unfortunately. Rest him in peace, because the greatest front man Australia's ever seen. And unfortunately, we never got to do that tour. But it would have been a bit of fun, you know, to do it because
crazy.
Yeah.
You guys could have both played that song. If
what a great band. Their first albums are amazing.
Unfortunately, people have passed. Like we've picked a few other songs as tribute that we've done as well.
Yeah. Well, I think I sent you, Stevo, just when we were texting. I filled in for my brother's band, and we were playing Areas. Basically, their whole set list was Area 7 and Real Big Fish.
Awesome.
So there's this footage of me. I'm like 12. Playing with this band and looking back, as I've been in bands since, I was trying to do Stevo's low tone, and I'm like 12.
Either you don't know what you're doing, or you really couldn't care. Well, your bitter words won't get you anywhere. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to say?
And I really shouldn't have done that, but it was such good fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
But
it's fun.
You guys are an awesome band, and we're going to get you up on stage.
Yep.
Yeah. So Chaz, I'll tell you a story. Chaz is my nephew, and when he was about 5 years old, he jumped up on stage at a show we were doing, an all-ages show.
In, was it?
Bacchus Marsh? Bacchus
yeah.
Marsh. We're doing this outside, with the Bennies, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but at the time, he was on stage, Chuck was doing something on his amp, spun around, and he whacked Chaz in the face with his guitar.
Bleeding.
And he was bleeding out on stage. So here we are, we've got this kid. You can see the local council's going,
Full
oh my
jeans.
God, we're about to get sued again. He's got blood pissing out of his mouth. So now he's 16 and he's in a band and he's playing and stuff. I thought, here's a perfect opportunity to repay him for smacking him in the face with the guitar. He could come up and do a couple of songs with us. Now, just a tip for the work experience kid, don't put your face anywhere near anybody's guitar today.
Yes.
And sign the waiver, the legal waiver again.
Don't throw any drumsticks into the crowd.
What if a kid comes up on stage and then the cycle repeats?
Well, I don't know, I can't do that. But anyway, apparently you get into big trouble for that. So I've gotten into trouble for that many times before bringing people on stage, mostly from the band. But yes, we're not supposed to do that.
Have we actually got that mouth guard that we're going to present him with? and
Area 7 mouth guard.
And helmet.
That'd be good. With
Selling the merch.
Gridiron helmet.
But with Bogan across the front.
And, so what's your final two questions for you guys? Your favourite show or any crazy shows that come to mind in your careers? Anything, any touring? What's your favourite festival or experience?
Warped Tour, definitely hands down the best tour. When you get to tour with people who you saw as legends, I'm not talking about bands, I'm talking about, well, not just bands, skateboarders. When
The Australian Warped Tour?
Oh yeah, the Australian, but it's like the Australian's got like half the bands are American or overseas, right?
Gotcha.
So playing with bands who you would love and admire and respect, that just blows me away. It still does to this day.
Yeah.
When you hear like Tony Alva, who DJ and I are old skateboarders, right? When Tony Alva comes up and goes, "Yeah, I've got a couple of your records," you're like, "What the fuck? You've got our records?" And then that sort of stuff blows me away. So Warped Tour for me is like. That was the antithesis of touring. Favourite bands I love touring with, The Living End without failure, but also Real Big Fish.
Yeah.
We've run on 3 tours with those guys. They've all been fantastic. And Aaron always jokes that we made him drink again because he always goes off the booze when he's away, when he comes back to Australia. And by the way, we nearly got arrested stealing a tram in Ackland Street. That's another story. A tram. A tram, ding ding tram.
Do we have to go over this?
So he got into the old style tram and locked the door. The driver was out, and he's like messing with the levers. And I'm going, this isn't gonna go good if he gets this fucking tram moving in Ackland Street. Anyway, we didn't get arrested. So those guys were Big Fish, and there's 100 and touring East Timor for the Australian Defence Forces. Just extraordinary experience.
I hear that so often from different bands.
I had a silly moment when I started filling in the, I think it was actually the second show I filled in on. We were playing the St Kilda Festival, and it was a really good time slot. Over the back to the beach, the sun setting, supposedly 24,000 people in front of us, biggest show I'd ever played.
It was nuts.
But just while we're getting ready to go on, I think Mental as Anything were on, but Machine Gun Fellatio were going to be going on just before us.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen them live. But this lady came up to me as I was getting ready and my key was ready, and she's like, I'm Krista. I'm like, I'm DJ. And she's like, so, you're playing keys. She's asking questions about it. And I just was about to say, so what do you do? But I just didn't. And then anyway, the band went on, but she didn't go on for the first song. Then she just goes on, does a cartwheel, strips, does a couple more cartwheels, comes back with her clothes on. I'm thinking, I'm glad I didn't ask what you actually do, just because I would have looked pretty foolish. But anyway, then she just came back and just went on with the same conversation, just getting dressed, going, so anyway, I'm going back on a minute. But anyway, we're just chatting away. It was quite a surreal moment.
That was a crazy show, that one. I do remember
lots of little
that.
funny things like that, apart from obviously big things like playing Festival Hall. It's pretty legendary. But I love those little silly moments like that are really
work
funny.
out how I missed this Kilda Fest. I got every year
it was
and
nuts.
It was nuts. Not see that.
I just remember this sea of people, and I remember our receptionist, because at the time I was still working, and I saw our receptionist just go sailing past the crowd with a can of VB in her hand, and it's still burnt into my mind to this day.
I've noticed crowd surfing, by the way, is just not as prevalent.
Nah.
Is it because people are holding phones these days?
Yeah,
that's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It is
the skanking going tonight, I reckon. But anyway, and you tried the beers. That's our final thing.
Yeah, look,
Bad Shepherd.
Bad Shepherd. We have to say thank you to Bad Shepherd for putting this event on today, and again, keeping live music alive. Dallas Crane, stalwarts of the industry. We've been going for so long now.
Yeah.
Get out and see more live bands. The venues are closing. We need fucking more people out there. And I don't know what it is in Victoria, but Queensland's still going strong.
Right.
South Australia's going strong. Victoria's.
Well, he did say next year he's going to go real hard. I was talking to Derek, and he said next year here, the Southeast Beer Festival.
I hope so, because we see these sort of like Always Live and that, but I don't see them doing anything for bands. I don't know anybody who's got a gig with Always Live.
Yeah.
They talk about it, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is what it is. Hopefully it improves. The Southeast Beer Festival will be even bigger and better.
Southeast Beer Fest. See you in
FY20. Thank you so much.
It's a cooperation, 7 breweries together and bands. Now that's how events will grow with a few more people.
Hopefully we'll have a double marquee next time.
And thank you to Creative Creatures for having us. So really good. Thank you guys.
We'll have some double entendres.
Can't wait for the show, fellas.
Thanks.
Just before we go, Chaz, can we ask you any questions?
Sure, what's the question?
Well, are you nervous about playing today?
No, not really. Really? No, yeah. I've played to 400 people before.
I'm sure you'll
he's played to 400 people before. Right.
Phil Sobrano over there.
I know, Phil Sobrano's over there too. Robbo.
When do you go and get our lunch for us?
When do you get our lunch?
As soon as the interview finishes.
Can you get a left-hand screwdriver for us?
Where would they be?
Can of striped paint.
Ladies and gentlemen, the work experience kid, Chaz.
Give it up for him.
Thank you.
Cheers, fellas.
Thanks, Uncle.
Thanks.
Thank you.